Hey guys, DMV Solorider back with another video. We are at the IMS Outdoor Show in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And this is my first ride of the day. Some of the manufacturers are doing things differently than others. Some are doing guided rides like Honda. Some are doing, take a bike out any time of day and do a track that they've set up. And Honda does something a little different. It's a guided ride and it's a little longer than the track that everyone else is doing. They take you kind of farther out. It's about a 30-minute ride. And I decided for my first ride of the day, I was going to ride the CBR 300R because it's probably going to kill my neck and better to get it out of the way early while I'm fresh. And then we can hop on a cruiser later in the day to kind of feel better. And if you watch the channel, you know that I'm have a growing infatuation with sport bikes because they're so different from what I'm used to. And my first ride was on, a Z400, Ninja 400. The ride itself left a lot to be desired, so hopefully this will be better. The CBR 300R has about, I think, 30 horsepower and 20 torque. This is like your quintessential beginner bike, kind of like the Ninja 400. It's very light. I'm 5'6", 5'7" with my 1-inch heel in my boot. Not flat footing it, but close. That was a little rough. It did not want to shift into first gear. Anyways, we're on the go. Riding position, obviously I'm leaning pretty far forward. The tank is easily grippable with my knees if I need to give my hands a rest. Throttle seems a little twitchy. It's not quite a smooth roll on. I forgot to look up the ideal shift points for this bike. Redline's at 10.5. Ooh, very light. It does not have a gear indicator, which is kind of weird. Seat is pretty comfortable. Probably should have adjusted the mirrors. I always forget that kind of stuff. So what can I tell you about the CBR 300? I can't really tell you that it feels much different from the Ninja 400, to be honest. It doesn't feel slower or less peppy. I've barely gone anywhere. We're just on little back roads for the time being. Apparently they will let us open it up later in the ride. It's super nimble. I mean, this kind of motorcycle is so radically different from what I'm used to. I really dig it. Wind management, I mean, we're going 31 miles an hour, third gear. Just shifted into fourth. I'm not juicing it. Feel some vibration in the handlebars. Nothing unmanageable, unreasonable. It's pretty comfortable, to be honest with you. Like, when I grip the tank with my knees, it feels fine. Transmission is very smooth. Clutch is light. It's a light pull. Had a little issue just getting it into first at a stop. But on the fly, it works well, clicks into place, no issues, positive feedback. Foot position is pretty comfortable compared to other bikes like this I've ridden. really feel the vibration in your butt, that's for sure. Bike leans over nice and easy. I mean, these are pretty gentle curves, but you know, it feels great. Oh yeah, I'm enjoying this bike for sure. I mean, 53 miles an hour in fourth, maybe fifth gear. I think I'm in fourth gear. That's faster than I ever rode that Ninja. Brakes, I'm not doing emergency braking or anything, but you know, they slow you down competently. You know, a bike like this, you know, you're riding it higher up in the RPMs. Doesn't have a ton of torque. When you jam on the throttle, you don't feel that immediate pushback. You feel power for sure, but nothing like on, you know, cruisers or, you know, the Sportster S, which is a ton of down low torque. But it still feels exhilarating. You feel it in your hands more than you feel it in your butt or your back. Close up my vents. I don't know if you're going to hear me. I got so much wind in my face. As you know, on the wind management front, because your rider position is far forward like this, it's manageable. You know, it feels good. It's not, I don't feel like the, you know, the breeze is making me sail around. I feel completely stable. Not an issue. I really enjoy the feeling. You know, this mesh jacket, it's like full-time air conditioning right now. This thing ain't doing much. Having said that, I have no buffeting of any kind. You feel wind, but there's no negative vibration, nothing uncomfortable. Oh yeah, I am enjoying this motorcycle. So this will be the longest ride I've ever had on a bike like this, about 30 minutes. And I'm doing my best to just grip the tank with my legs and just guide the bike with my hands, not resting on my hands, because they'll go numb in a heartbeat. You get enough vibration in the grips. Oh, I love that sound. You know, engine braking slows the bike down pretty well. Even though it is, you know, a small displacement engine, in this small package, it's plenty. And I'm telling you right now, as someone who has become accustomed to riding behind a big fairing, it's something else to experience a motorcycle with really nothing in front of you. I dig it. For all the things that make riding a bike so awesome, it's just that much better. Oh, that sound is addictive, man. So different. Just awesome. You know, as far as the mirrors go, I leave a little bit to be desired. I feel like my shoulders, my elbows are blocking them pretty decently. Could probably be up a little higher, maybe. You know, the dash, you know, it's a simple dash. You got your RPMs, which is really all you need. And no gear indicator, which totally bothers me. For the 5th time in this video. Well, yeah, so I'm really impressed with this motorcycle. You know, I'm really curious to see what that Ninja 400 would feel like on this road. I felt like the Ninja 400 was maybe a little smoother. Not as much vibration in the handlebars. Maybe a little more peppier. But it's hard to tell because I didn't get a chance to ride it like this. So it makes a comparison pretty difficult. I think the CBR looks beautiful. I don't know know what they call this, the baby fire blade. Is that even appropriate? Yeah, I'm starting to feel it in my neck for sure. This more aggressive riding position than I'm used to. I think taking this bike out first ride of the day was a good choice. Oh, I love that downshifting sound. Bike is really comfortable, one-legging it. You know, I can get the balls of my feet comfortably on the ground, one-legging it. It's light as a feather. Nothing about this motorcycle or its seat height, which I want to say it's about 30 inches, 29 inches, something like that, should give you pause if you're a shorter rider. You know, I'm 5'6", 5'7" with my boots on. Not a concern at all. That launch in first gear on this bike is a little underwhelming. Like, you gotta shift up to second gear before you even know what happened. Otherwise, you know, you're out of power. You're just kind of spinning the engine and not getting anywhere. I'm not used to that. I'm used to a first gear punch that is substantial and meaningful. And on this motorcycle, first gear is like just to get underway. Scoot you along. I don't know if that's accurate or if that makes sense, but that's what it feels like to me. I think there are people doing the demo rides and they're just doing their own rides. Yeah, you know, so far in my riding on this bike, I feel like keeping the RPMs up around 7,000 is really where you want to be. You start dropping down there and you know, it's a little sleepy. And you know, that's kind of the world of understanding I have of sport bikes is, yeah, you're revving them up much higher in the RPMs than you would on a cruiser, and okay. Suspension on this motorcycle feels fine. Doesn't seem overly harsh, although we really haven't gone over any bumps where I could really give you a good feel for it. You know, really comfortable. The seat is nice and wide. Obviously, it's not a cruiser seat, but I don't feel like it's a piece of cardboard either. There's something in there. Don't need a lot of braking on this bike. You know, for a small engine, not a ton of torque. The engine braking is pretty reliable. You know, it does a real nice job. Although this part of the ride, it's, you know, a little ho-hum. But hey, if you're riding a sport bike and stop no traffic in a city, this would probably be more like what it is. Not a lot of fun, to be honest. You know, a lot of fun on this bike out in the countryside, twisty roads, but this leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest. Sounds good though. Yeah, I mean, this motorcycle below 7,000 RPM, 6,000 RPMs, there's nothing there. I mean, you can do it. I'm doing it right now. I think I'm in fourth gear. I'll find out when I come to a stop and have to get it back into first. You know, as far as the throttle and the power, you know, compliant throttle seems pretty reliable, pretty consistent. It's not jerky. Nothing unexpected happening there. You know, so if this is a beginner motorcycle, kind of like the Ninja 400, yeah, you know, I get why they talk about it as a beginner motorcycle. Seems appropriate to me. If you're new and you want a sport bike, makes all the sense in the world. I think you'd have a lot of fun riding this motorcycle, learning how to ride a motorcycle. How long that would last, I can't say. You know, on a longer ride, twistier roads, more straightaways, my guess is you'd probably grow out of it pretty quick. Again, you know, I've had it up to maybe 60, 65. I haven't launched it down the highway to 100. But, you know, just the feeling I've had in the ride that you've just witnessed, I think it would be a blast to learn how to ride on this bike. It's really light, very maneuverable, solid marks on that score. But the power, I feel like, might leave you wanting for more before too long. I want to say the Ninja would be a better choice, but because my ride on the Ninja was so chaste, I would not actually say that. I don't think it would be appropriate to give that kind of an opinion. Well, that was not a bad test ride. Better than the Kawasaki Demo Day event. Well, that is our test ride of the CBR 300R. I really like it. It looks stunning, and it was a lot of fun. I'd love to get it out by myself, you know, out in the countryside on some of my twisty rides. All right, let's see what's up next.